All right, hello, rockers, rollers, and heavy metal maniacs. It's the Meister from Brews and Tunes. Cheers. I am absolutely thrilled today. I am chatting with a rock and roll legend, the one and only Mr. Dave Tattum, of course, of Angel Witch fame, as well as his own solo project, which we're going to talk about, and the Wayback Machine. We'll talk a little bit about Bill the Murderer and Blaque Jaque Shallaque and many other things. So, Dave, thank you so much for joining me. How are you doing today?
Oh, great. Nice to speak to you, Victor. Yeah, I'm okay. I'm okay,
Good,
thank you.
good. Yeah, yeah, like I said, I'm absolutely thrilled to chat with you.
Mm,
I'm a big fan of your vocals. I've always said that I think Screaming and Bleeding is one of the most criminally underrated albums in rock and roll history. It's one of my all-time favorites, and especially of that era. I'm a huge fan. So yeah, so thank you for chatting with me. This is great.
no
So I thought
problem, no problem.
maybe we talk, if you're good with this, talk about what you've been doing currently or most recently, especially with your solo project and other things that you're doing, and then we'll kind of jump in the Wayback Machine
Yeah,
and chat
okay.
about the early days. 2019, I think it was October of 2019, so right before the pandemic, you released a wonderful, fantastic rock and blues album, Dave Tattum and the Rattlesnake Bones. Uh,
Mm.
Fantastic album.
No, thank you. Thank
And
you.
really cool stuff. And it's
Mm,
interesting because we were talking about this a little bit before we started recording. Your love of Motown music and blues music, mine as well. So I was really interested in how this kind of all came together because you have a Belgian band.
yeah, yeah. Belgian
Uh,
musicians, some good,
yeah,
good men,
yeah.
good guys. Yeah, good friends too. The drummer, Rick Volkaerts and Dirk Lekena, two very good friends. Been friends with them for about 30 years. Uh, and the story goes where Spencer, Brian Spencer, he was an Angel Witch roadie, and Angel Witch. We had a little break during the summer, uh, and he said they used to call me Tatty. Tatty. He said, "What are you doing? What are you doing for the summer holidays?" I said, "Nothing, mate." He said, "You fancy going on the bike?" So we had this Honda CB 900 F2.
Mm.
So we got on the bike over. We went because we were in London, over down to Dover, into Belgium. Got as drunk as skunks on the ferry, and we ended up lost in Belgium, totally lost. So he said to me, Tatty, as soon as you see your pub, give me a shout. So I went past this place and I saw this pub in the Molen. I shouted, I tapped him. I said, come on, turn around. Went in. Cut a long story short. Well, it's a great story when we were in the pub because he said, ask him if there's anywhere to camp. I said, does anyone speak English? No. Oh, that's okay. So I said, any camping plots? No. No. Hotels? No. Motels? No. I thought, right, okay. He said, come on, Tatty, drink up, we'll go. Next thing, this guy comes over and he says, I am getting to the crux of the story.
That was good.
Anyway, this guy comes over and says, you can stay here. We said, oh, lovely, stay in a cafe, in a bar. So we said, how much? How much would it be, please? He said, goes back and talks to the lady behind the bar. He comes back and he says, you can stay here for nothing.
Oh
So
wow.
Spence goes, drink up, Tatty. They're going to kill us in our sleep. Anyway, they didn't. And I met Dirk Lekena, I met Rick Volkaerts, the drummer, and we became great friends.
Nice.
And that's how it started. And I was over in, it was the New Year's Eve coming into 2019. And Dirk, my family were over in Belgium. We went over to, and Dirk and his family, and we all went out on the New Year's Eve, and we were drinking. And he just said to me, he said, "Taddy, you want to do something?" I said, "Like what?" He said, "Do you make an album, a CD?" I said, "Because he's got his own studio,
Hmm.
uh,
Nice.
Studio Fandango. Yeah, that is his studio."
Oh, that's him. Okay, cool.
Yeah, so no, it's a great place, a fantastic place. Anyway, we started. writing songs, and I was writing here in North Wales and sending over. How I did it, I don't know, through the internet, writing lyrics. Dirk was writing music for it, sending it back, and I was going yes or no, and it was vice versa for a while. And we came up with about 14 or 15 tracks. We went back and recorded it in a weekend. I did 10 songs in one day.
Oh,
Sang
wow.
10 songs, yeah. And I think we had one song to finish, which was the Price of Coal, which is the last song in the album. And we decided we'd do it on the Sunday morning. This was a Saturday evening. He said, "Daddy, we have a drink?" I said, "Yeah, okay, that'll suit me fine, you know." So we started drinking Stella and what have you. And then Dirk, and we were about 3 sheets to the wind now. And Dirk says, if I could ever find it, I must send it to you. The recording of us trying to record this song.
Oh, no.
Dirk just left everything running in the control room, and we just sat in the studio, just him sitting on the couch and me standing up. And the language, Victor, is unbelievable. It's where we were both making mistakes because we'd had too much to drink. Eventually, we finished it, went to bed, woke up next morning, came down. I put a little bit of harmonica on it, and that was it. Done.
Wow.
So it worked out in the end. After about 2 hours, it took us about maybe 2.5 hours to record. It was good fun. We did have a few laughs while we were doing it.
Nice.
Yeah. So I've gone off on a bit of a tangent, haven't I, Victor? Really, I
No, this is
tend
great.
to do that. You'll realize during this interview, I do like a chat.
Great.
I do like to talk.
Perfect.
Yeah. So the album itself, I listen to it sometimes and I think, oh God, I shouldn't have put that one in. I shouldn't have put that one in. But it was very self-indulgent, and I don't mind talking about it. It was very, very self-indulgent. I mean, the Price of Coal is about my father-in-law, who was shot in France when he was 18 during the war and things. And there was the one where Sisters of the Sacred Heart.
Oh yeah, I wanted to ask you about that.
Yeah.
That's
I was abandoned in a home for unmarried mothers.
Wow.
Yeah, and just left. My mother went off and married this other guy, and they moved away. I had nothing to do with it really, so I wrote that, and I was on my own from about the age of 17, 18. So there's a lot of them songs about that, Lonely Road and Black Sheets of Rain was depression. I mean, a lot of us have had it, and that was when I went through a fit of depression. So that was Black Sheets of Rain, and Dear Lorraine is about I won't mention her name, but is about a girl who we split up, and thank God we did, and that's why you say Lorraine, you can go away and hate somebody else,
Right. Yeah.
yeah.
Great
So that was
lyrics.
tongue in cheek. Yeah, it's quite self-indulgent, really. But yeah, I do listen to it now and again. But
Yeah, it's great.
yeah. Did you like it? Really like it?
I think it's brilliant. I think the lyrics are
Oh,
brilliant.
cheers,
I think
Victor.
I love. I mean, it's like you said, it's. Well, I wouldn't say it's self-indulgent. I'd say it's very personal, and
Yeah, personal. Yeah.
and
I
in some
suppose I'm using
ways,
the wrong word there.
yeah, kind of and in some ways, I mean, there's some of it's kind of a cautionary tale. I mean, it's you're very open. It's a very honest album. I think that's what I love about it. I mean, man, one of the things I love about it, and then it's just musically, it's this wonderful kind of rooted in Americana blues and rock, and it's really fantastic.
They do. I mean, they do play a lot of blues in Belgium, and the musicians that helped me out. I mean, Dirk and Rick helped me out, but Peter Ackermans and Luc de Graaf on bass. I mean, they were just great. I never saw them. It was all done before I got there.
Oh wow!
Never saw them in the studio. It was all done. It was just little bits of splicing here and there, but it was all, the music was there. That's how I sang 10 songs in the day.
Oh
because it
yeah,
was
you're
all there
all
for me.
ready to go. Interesting.
I just stood there and sang, played a little bit of harmonica here and there. Uh, yeah, Dirk is a fantastic guy. Well, they all are good guys.
Wow.
Yeah,
Well, and it's interesting, especially, you mentioned the Sisters of the Sacred Heart and just, having been abandoned. I mean, you could have gone down a pretty dark path, from
yeah.
that point.
Oh, yeah. I was very lucky, really, very lucky, because my mother was, how can I say? I'm very open about this. Everybody knows. My I'm the son of a GI. I'm the son of an American GI who
Oh,
was in
really?
the
Wow.
yeah, the American. He was based in Burton Wood Air Base near us and Sealand. This was after the war. The Americans were still here for years afterwards.
Yeah.
Anyway, my mother and him met, and the dirty deed was done, and he went back to the States. And anyway, but after 3 years, I was adopted by my grandfather
Oh, nice.
because my mother was his eldest daughter.
Okay.
And for 3 years, Victor, I didn't know where I was. I still, to this day, from the age of being born to 3 years old, not a clue,
Wow.
not a clue where I was. And it was all hush hush, in them days. They just didn't
Oh,
speak
yeah.
about it. So nobody told me. Nobody. So there you go.
Have you ever
That's
had
like,
any contact with your biological father?
no, God,
Okay.
no, I wouldn't. I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't even have bothered going because I was loads of people. There are stories about, and I can't repeat them on here. Of stories of where we were in the van, in the van touring, and guys asked me, "Hey, Tat, you fancy finding your dad and all this?" And then it went into this weird thing with I can't really tell you about that, but the lads in Angel Witch will know what was
Interesting.
said. It was all in good banter, but it was so funny, so funny. Yeah, so no, I never bothered really. I was all right. I was happy.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, so yeah, I wasn't bothered. Wasn't bothered. I was here. That's the main thing. I think that's what. And being on my own again when I was about 17. My grandfather died, and I was on my own, homeless really, but only for some friends who let me stay in their place until I got myself sorted. I think that's what gave me the push to do things. I didn't
Mm.
have any family, hardly. I didn't have any home, hardly. So that's what made me go to London.
Wow.
See, why not? I might as
Yeah.
well be. I might as well be there as here.
Yeah.
So that's what I did. I jumped on. I jumped in my little. Kept going for auditions. I kept going for auditions to London, and eventually I got a job there. With a band, and the rest is history, as they say.
Wow. Yeah, that's
Mm.
amazing. That's, I mean,
Yeah,
especially to think about, myself at that age, the idea of moving to, I guess the equivalent here would be, like moving to New York City or Los Angeles
yeah, yeah, yeah,
at
yeah.
the tender age of 17, which,
No, that's when I started in music at that age.
oh, okay.
But it was in my early 20s when I went to
Oh,
London.
oh, I see.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Still
Because
young then. Yeah.
Bill the Murderer came before that, and
Okay.
Skin Deep with Steve Williams
Oh, yeah.
from Budgie. That's a guy. He taught me so much. That guy. Yeah. Uh, and then there came Bill the Murderer, and then London. And bands in London, really.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
fascinating. That's amazing. That's so cool. Before we go too much further into the past, I did want to
Yeah.
ask you, um, will we see a follow-up album to your solo album? Do you think you'll do another
I'd
episode?
love to. I'd love to. And I keep saying I'd love to, but I think Dirk is so busy.
Mm.
Perhaps if he sees this, I'd love to do another album with Dirk and Rick. I would love to. I've got lyrics written everywhere in the house. I would love to do it again. But perhaps if Dirk ever sees this, He
All
may
right.
think, well, fun tattooing us, who
All right,
knows?
Dirk.
Be nice. It'd be nice.
We're looking at you, Dirk. Like,
Yeah, 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 yeah,
and it's time to write some music
yeah, yeah,
for Dave here. Let's get this
yeah,
going. Yeah, because
yeah.
I think it definitely it's such a great album. I think it does. Yeah, and you have so much
That's
talent.
very kind of you. That's very kind of you to say so. Sometimes I listen to it and I think you do though with your own stuff, don't you? You listen to it and you think, I could have done better there. I could have done this there. I could have done that there. But yeah, some of the old Angel Witch stuff as well. I listen to that. And thought, I wish I could go back in and do it again. But there we go.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think a lot of artists are like that. A lot of singers are like that, though, aren't they?
Oh yeah,
They think they can do better than they did, which is a good thing.
yeah, yeah. It's always
I
good to
think
push yourself and yeah.
you should never be complacent.
Right, right. Yeah, and I would imagine it's got to be tough. Um, so I'm not a musician, but I paint. Um,
Oh yeah,
and yeah, I'll look at old paintings I've done. I'm like, oh, especially from 20, 30 years
yeah,
ago. I'm like, oh, I should.
yeah,
I'm like, no, just
yeah,
leave it as is. Leave it but I can understand the wanting to change it and fix it. And so I understand,
yeah,
like especially the bands that that are performing live that have been around for a long time and they decide to switch up the arrangement a little, to make it a little more fun to play. Probably,
mm,
if you've been
mm,
playing it for 40 years, like, all right, let's change this.
yeah,
This is, I mean, sometimes
yeah,
it upsets fans, but I get it. And then also just, as you get older, your vocal cords change and you sometimes can't hit
mm,
certain notes and, so you got
yeah,
to change
yeah,
the key, so
yes. Sometimes, yes, indeed, yeah. I've been
yeah.
very lucky with that. I haven't had that problem yet.
Hmm.
Not that I've sung any metal for a long, 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 long time. It's been quite a few years since I've sung uh, with any vengeance, really. But yeah, yeah, because I sing in believe it or not, Victor, I sing in a fantastic Welsh male voice choir.
I was going to ask you about that. Yeah, I was
Yeah,
really
oh, I
curious
love
about
it.
that.
I love it. It's total opposite to what I'm used to.
Yeah,
But the professionalism of the musical director, she is just special. And I love all that kind of discipline.
yeah,
I don't show it sometimes, but I love all the discipline, the professionalism, the rehearsing. Yeah, it takes me
nice.
back to old times, where, yeah, it's a great, great. I never thought in a million years. My friend asked me to go up, and how I said no. I said I'm not going. That's not for me. It's not for me. And I went and I sat in, and I've never left.
Nice.
You
How
know,
how long ago was that? How long have you been involved?
10 years,
10 years. Oh, good. Very good.
10 years ago. Yeah,
Oh,
I've been to Ireland with them. I've been to Holland with them. I've been to Prague with them. Been all
cool.
around this country with them. We're off to the Isle of Man in October. Yeah,
Oh, wow.
yeah, it's like touring again. It's
Very
great.
cool. Very
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
Yeah.
Taffy's on tour.
I like
You know,
it.
they call Welsh people taffy.
Yeah, yeah.
So we're Taffy's on tour.
Taffy's
Yeah.
on tour. I like that. That's good. You
Yeah.
could say Taffy's and Tatty are on tour.
Yeah, Taddy on tour. Yeah,
Tatty on
yeah,
tour. Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
that's
yeah.
great. I like that. That's very cool. And then you also were doing work with another band, Red Zephyr as well. Are you still doing that?
No,
No.
no, it's fallen to pieces. That's
Hmm.
very disappointing. Very disappointing. I really enjoyed being with them, and it just wasn't to be. Just wasn't to be. Uh,
And that was a rock band, right? That was a rock and roll band.
yeah, and they were good because the last gig, the first, no, they did one warm up gig. The last gig I did with them was Supposed in Living Color.
Oh, wow.
Uh, yeah, oh, they were great guys. Oh, really, really nice guys. Willing to talk, willing to
Cool.
discuss stuff with you. I was chatting to the singer outside, and it was a cold November evening, if I remember right. We were both outside, and he was really nice. And he was saying, and I mentioned Angel Witch. And I said, I used to be the singer in Angel. Really? I said, yeah,
Wow.
yeah. And he was asking me different things. And he said, "You left?" I said, "No." I said, "I was sacked." And I said, "Yeah." And when we went back in, he came behind me and he tapped me on the back. And he went, "Never mind, never mind." Honestly, as if it had happened yesterday, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were good band. But I would put it down to Victor, the Red Zephyr thing. And it's never happened before to me. Musical differences. You know, when they say
Mm.
it's musical differences, it was hard work, Victor, hard work, man. And it wasn't for me in the end, really, you know. So I just handed in my notice, really, and just left. And they've split up since, bless them, because they were good band, but it wasn't for me, you know.
Mm.
Yeah, it's a shame
Yeah.
because I've been friends with the bass player for many years. He owns his own music shop, and he does all the PAs in this club quite a famous club in North Wales where all the big bands play.
Nice.
And he's a good, and I've been friends with him for a long time, so I'll still stay friends with him, obviously. But yeah, that was it. That was it. So I'm doing nothing really. I'm just waiting, Victor, for the next big thing.
Cool. Cool.
Just waiting
Yeah.
now for the windows open for things to drop through. Invites.
Yes.
Never gonna happen, man. Never gonna happen.
Well, if
Yeah,
anybody's, some professional musicians are
yeah,
watching this,
yeah,
if you want the amazing Dave Tattum in your band,
yeah.
he's
I
available.
did speak. I did speak to only through Messenger and Facebook and stuff. I spoke to Kevin Riddles,
Oh yeah.
you know, who's sadly passed away, hasn't he? Bless him.
Yeah.
And I said, listen, I said, if you're stuck, because their singer, I think his singer walked out, the singer and someone else walked, the drummer maybe walked out. And I said to him, listen, if you're stuck, you know, give us a chance, give us an audition anyway. He said, yeah, I will. Anyway, I didn't get an invite. Well, he got another singer, very good, but I've heard him sing very good. But and then he sadly went into hospital or whatever and never came out.
Yeah, that was
You
shocking.
know, yeah, I only met Kevin twice. I met him once in the Hammersmith Odeon when we went. I would think I'd gone there to see Gary Moore or something, and he was
Oh,
he
cool.
was by the bar, just had a little chat. And then I met him in Edwin Shirley's. They had a rehearsal room there, and he was just getting Titan together.
Oh, wow.
And this guitarist I was friendly with was auditioning for Titan. He didn't get the job either. And he said, do you want to come down? I said, not really. He said, come on, come down, give me a bit of a boost. I said, okay. So I ended up singing a couple of songs down there. And,
Oh, nice.
I ended up just jamming, really, just jamming while the guitarist was playing. And that was the only two times I ever met Kevin, a really nice guy, very, how can I say, larger than life
Yeah.
character.
Yeah.
Yeah, good. And the times I saw him, a really good guy, So sad for his wife,
Yeah. Yeah. That's yeah.
Yeah,
Rest in
yeah,
peace. Yeah, he was
yeah.
such
And I
an
was supposed
amazing
to go and
talent.
see him, they played up in that where we did the gig with Living Colour.
Hmm.
And when you think, and I've been talking to my wife about this, so many people I thought, oh yeah, I'll go and have a drink with him, but I can't go this week, but we'll go again. And it's happened to me twice now. Happened with Kevin. I was supposed to go up and see the band, and it's like I'd say half an hour's drive, three-quarter of an hour's drive from here to the gig. And I said to him, I'm going to come and see you. Yeah, come, we'll meet up and this and the other, and have a chat. And something happened and I couldn't go.
Uh,
And I thought, well, it's all right. I'll see him again. You don't, do you?
yeah.
Another friend of mine, I was supposed to go for a drink with him in a bar around here. He lives in France. Well, he lived in France. And I said, I can't make it. I can't make it. Oh, I'll catch you next time I'm over. I said, yeah. No, passed away about 2 weeks ago.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Cancer.
That's
Yeah, no, it happens, doesn't it? But you shouldn't. And I'm vowing now to, if anybody asks me to do something, I'm going to do it because
yeah.
you never know. You may never see them again.
Yeah. Carpe diem, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I totally understand that. It's yeah, it's
Mm,
amazing like the just how it's crazy how fragile, how resilient life can be, and also how fragile it can be at the same
Yeah,
time. You know, it's
yeah,
just, and
yeah.
it's a roll of the dice. You know, it
Mm,
seems like
mm,
with all of us, you never know.
yeah. No,
Yeah,
life takes over. Life takes over. You
yeah,
know, you're always too busy to do something. You know, I can't do it now. I'm too busy. And then bang, you think, guess who's died? Who? Oh no.
yeah.
Yeah, it's just
Right.
weird, just strange.
Yeah,
Yeah, there
agreed.
we go.
Yeah, yeah, I
Yeah,
agree.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
now that we've totally bummed each other out, we brought the mood way down.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, I did. So let's go back in the past, like the way past.
Okay,
So talk to me
okay.
about like kind of how this all started for you musically. Like, did you? I mean, do you? I mean, and I know your childhood is you know there's patches that are a little sketchy in terms of what you
Mm,
remember. But do you remember in terms of like, you know, did you come from a musical family? Was there music in the family? Like what kind of prompted all of that for you?
no, my uncle played drums,
Hmm.
and my grandfather he had my mother, obviously. They had my mother, and he was a widow. God, it's going in black here, isn't it? He was a widow, uh, and he had two sons, two daughters. One was my mother, and we had a piano in the living room, you know, in the lounge. And I always said, "Can I have piano lessons? Can I have piano lessons?" No, no, no. I said, "You say why?" All the others have had piano lessons and they've given it up. So I'm not letting you. I'm not wasting money on you. And I always say to my wife, "Can you imagine if I played keyboards? Where I could have been, what I could have done,
Yeah.
you know?" But it didn't happen. Yeah, so not really musical. Very musically, my as I said, my uncle was a drummer, but very musically minded with listening to music.
Hmm.
Always had the radio on. Always had music on the radio, and that's where I got my. I came. Boom, what's that? You know, listening to music. Obviously, a record player, albums, singles, Beatles, and also Rolling Stones and all that kind of thing. I was a Rolling Stones fan, you see, and I think that's got me into rhythm and blues, you know.
Yeah, cool.
Uh, but always music on. Yeah, it was. Yeah, I can remember it to this day. Listening on around the old record player, just listening to everything. 45s just strewn everywhere. Just good times, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nice.
and then I think uh, when I left school, uh, I couldn't get a job, and I ended up working on down the pit, down the coal mine.
Oof.
Yeah, went to 16. Yeah, went down the ground. Well, didn't go down to six. Well, I did go down to 16 underground. Yeah, and then I, I met up. I was a scooter boy. I was a mod, a scooter boy, and I was in
Oh,
this
cool.
gang, scooter boy gang. You know, and there was a guy there who had a drum kit. You know, and I always wanted to play. I'd listened to Jerry McAvoy, you know, doing that bass solo. I don't know if you've heard it on Bullfrog Blues
Oh yeah, yeah.
when Jerry McAvoy goes into a bass solo, and I thought, I want to be a bass player. I want to be a bass player. So I bought a second-hand bass from a musician my uncle knew. Couldn't tune it, couldn't do anything with it really. And my friend who had the drum kit, an old, I think it was an old Gigster drum set, and his father owned a cinema, and it was turned into a bingo hall, you know. And we
Oh,
used to rehearse in upstairs in the projection room. We used to
oh
rehearse
wow.
there. He had his kit set up. He had an old Vox AC30 that I used to put my bass through, and I'd sing and try and play the bass, and we'd just make things up. We just jam. And I used to leave my bass with him, you know. And so I go home and come back, and, you know. And one day, I walk in and he's got my bass playing through the AC30. So he said, "Ty, listen to this." I thought, "Oh my God, you know, I'm out of a job here. I'm really." So I said, "I tell you what we'll do. Tell you what we'll do." I didn't even know if I could sing properly. I said, "I'll tell you what I'll do. You play bass, I'll sing," because we had a guitarist as well, "and we'll get a new drummer." And that's how it all started. Skin
Oh
Deep.
wow.
And
That
that
was
became
Skin Deep. Wow.
yeah, Skin Deep. The guitarist wasn't good enough, bless him. And we got another guitarist, Dave Blaque, in, who's very, very good. And the drummer we got in was okay, but he let us down badly. He let us down quite badly. And we were just bumming round looking for a drummer, and they're very, very hard to get round here. There's not a lot of really, at the time, not a lot of really, really good drummers about. And we used to have agencies, we used to go through agencies to get work. And one of the agents phoned up the bass player and said, listen, there's a guy from South Wales who's playing in a club, which wasn't far from us, tonight. And he's backing some artists. They had a keyboard and an organist, and they've got this drummer there. He's only young. He's about a bit older than you. Very good. Go and see him. So off we went now. And we sat there, me and Ian, the bass player, we sat there watching him. We thought, oh my God, it was, so we thought, we'll never get him. We'll never get him. So we left it. We found out where he lived. And he just moved up here from South Wales, him and his wife. And we found out where he lived. And we went round there early Sunday morning, two of us. But it was the roadie. Me and the roadie went round to his house, knocked on his door, and I'll never forget. He opened the window, and this hair was everywhere. What do you want? We said, well, you're a drummer, aren't you? Yeah. So we've got a band. We need a drummer. Oh, right, I'll be down now. And he came down, and we talked. And he just got dressed, and he came with us. We had the kit set up, and he came with us, and he played with us. Steve Williams, great drummer. Oh, what a guy. Taught me a lot about stage presence, how to behave on stage. Yeah, good man. And then I forget how long Steve was with us, 6 months, 9 months, a year, I can't exactly remember. Anyway, he came and he said, listen, in his South Walian accent, listen, boys, he said, I've had a phone call. I said, oh, yeah? Yeah. Budgie want me to go down and audition.
Wow.
I won't say what we said, but it was like never, but it was in expletives, No, yeah, I'm going down. Is that, it's up to you. You go. I never saw him again.
Wow.
He got the job. He sent a van up for his kit, got his kit. And then, this is Steve, such a nice guy. I got in touch with him, just speaking on the phone. No, there was no Facebook and that in them days. Do you know? And he sent us. No, he got in touch with me. I used to write to him. I wrote to his record company, and then me and him used to correspond. Writing and stuff when he was free. And the next thing, he told us he was playing in the Liverpool Empire, and he said, "I'll put 6 tickets on the door with backstage passes."
Cool.
And we went. That was it. I met him again, and it was great. And I've never met him personally, but we're friends on Facebook and stuff like this. And he gave my son a bit of advice when my son started playing drums. Oh,
nice.
He's a good guy, great drummer. Oh,
yeah,
just a good drummer. I've played with 3, I would say, 3 great drummers, and he's one of them. Yeah, yeah, cool. Or 4. I'll say 4 great drummers I've played with. Yeah,
nice. Very
Does that answer your question, or do you...
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, I do go off on a tangent, so stop me, Victor, won't you?
This is fantastic. Yeah,
stop me, honestly.
So that was Skin Deep. When did you get involved with Bill the Murderer? That was like the early 70s, right?
Yeah, Bill the Murderer. Yeah, Skin Deep was, I would say Skin Deep was early 70s. Yeah, it was early 70s then. Skin Deep broke up. Steve went. We could never replace him. We could never replace Steve, so we tried. We got people in, but you were always looking for that bit extra that Steve had, and that's why he got where he, that's how he got where he did, really. So it just split. It just folded. I started going to London for auditions for different bands. And then Skin Deep had reformed under a different name. I can't remember the name now. Something like it was Ted, TED, because
yeah, I've heard of them. Yeah.
yeah, the big. Anyway, the guitarist Steve, who I'm still friends with to this day, Steve Aldridge, he was the guitarist, and I'd given up. I packed in at the time. I wasn't doing anything, and we became friends. And I was staying in his house one night. We'd been drinking the night before, so I stayed overnight. And he said, "I've got a gig with Ted tonight." I said, "Where?" And he said, "Oh, it's in Kramer's in Rill, just up the road from here." He said, "You coming?" I said, "No," because the old Skin Deep boys were in it, you see.
Oh
I
yeah.
said, "No, I'm not." No, I said, "I'm not interested." "Oh, come on, Ty, come on." No, no, no. Eventually, I did go with him. So I sat there now, and there's this like little conference on the stage, having a sound check. Nobody's in the club, and I'm sitting there, and they're all having a conflab and saying, "Who's going to do this and what we're going to do? Who's going to sing?" But the singer has decided he was going to go to a party instead of gigging with a band. He just phoned them up and said, I'm not gigging tonight. I've got a party to go to." So I'm sitting there, and they shouted, "Tatty, you know the songs, don't you?" I said, "I do, yeah." "Will you sing tonight for us?" I said, "No." "Why not?" I said, "No." And he came over and said, "Oh, go on, no." I said, "I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll tell you what I'll do with you." And this is a true story, Victor. I said, "You sack that singer and I will sing for you tonight. And I'll be your singer." "All right, then." They said,
Wow.
"Okay," straight away. "Yeah, okay, then. No problem." So that was it. We were
Wow.
reunited. And we decided we wanted to go a bit heavier. We wanted to start writing our own material and doing stuff like that. And Steve was very good guitarist, great guitarist. So me and him started writing together. And we started getting a little bit heavier. Dave Blaque, bless him, left. No, this is how we got the name Bill the Murderer. We're in this club again, the same club as where I got the job back again. We're playing there, and we used to have a residency
Hmm.
there. We used to play on a Tuesday night, and I think it was a Friday night or a Saturday night. We had a residency. My God, it was an apprenticeship. It was the best apprenticeship I've had, honestly. It was one of the roughest clubs you've ever been in, Victor. It was the safest place in this club was on the stage, honestly.
Oh wow.
We were even warned by the proprietor of the club. "You play Born to Be Wild at the end of the night again, and you'll never play this club again." As
Wow.
soon as we started going, bow, 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 they'd be up. "Oh, here we go." And they'd start fighting. They'd be up like a bloodbath. Honestly, it was madness. But it was a great apprenticeship, to how to handle an audience and how to whatever, handle an audience. Anyway, we started getting heavier, and we wanted to change the name, obviously, and we couldn't think of a name. We were thinking of all sorts of names. And the DJ, Tim, used to announce us, and he said, "Ladies and gentlemen, on the stage tonight, we've got," what do you call them? And he'd go, "The carpets," or the curtains, anything, whatever was in front of him, he would say. And we'd go, "Okay, we play it that under that." And there was a local guy called Bill the Murderer round here. And what had happened, there was a murderer on the loose in Britain. I think he was called the Black Panther or something.
Huh.
And he was murdering old people and stealing the money from them. He's breaking in, killing them, and stealing their money. And this is a true story as well. And he worked in a local factory down the road. This Bill the Murderer, not the Black Panther, sorry,
Okay.
but he was in all the newspapers. He was in all the newspapers. His face. So they were, and my friend who was a bass player in the band with me was in the room when it happened in this factory, and they were having a cup of tea and their sandwiches and stuff. And one fellow was reading the paper, and he was like that, and he went, and he's looking at this guy, and he went, and his name was Bill. This guy was called Bill. So he went, "Hey, So his mate, hey, who does that remind you of? The Black Panther. You see, the Black Panther's in the newspaper. Who does that look like? And he said, Bill. It looks like Bill. So these are his workmates. They phoned the police. Serious, they phoned the police. And they said, we think the Black Panther's here. They phoned the police and they arrested Bill, took him off. Well, obviously, it wasn't him. So they let him loose. And that was his nickname, Bill the Murderer, then after that. So anyway, as we were just about to strike the first chord for the song, the first song of the night, Tim said, ladies and gentlemen, on stage, and who came through the door into the club? Bill the Murderer. And he went, ladies and gentlemen, Bill the Murderer. And we all went, that'll do.
I love it.
That's the song.
That
yeah,
is
and
great.
that's how we got the name. Yeah. Yeah, it was good times. Good band. Good band that was. Should have done a lot more. But they wouldn't go to London, you see. It was only I went. Well, the band split because Pete Downs, one of the guitarists, he went off to London. And the rest wouldn't go. And I decided, started going for auditions again. I don't, quite a few I didn't get, obviously. And then I got a job with a band and I moved down there, stayed with the guitarist, which was very lucky. The guitarist had his own pad and I stayed with him for a while. But it wasn't for me, the band wasn't for me. And I just moved on really to other bands,
Nice. When did Blaque Jaque Shallaque be?
Oh, right, yeah, right. I used to get the Melody Maker. You've heard of the Melody Maker?
Oh, yeah, great magazine.
Yeah, used to get the Melody Maker every Thursday, religiously. Back pain. Vocalist wanted. And then I read this thing. The best part of Angel Witch require a vocalist. And Dave Hogg had the sack from Angel Witch then. And it was Dave Hogg and Rob Downing, one of the original guitarists who put this advert in. So I phoned them up. Come for an audition. But you must bring an album with you, So I said, why? He said, because we want you to sing. You'll have to come to Rob's house I can't remember exactly where Rob lived at the time. You have to come to his house and sing a song off this album, sing along with the singer. I said, okay. So I looked around what did I got? So I had an AC/DC album. And the first track, I think, there's going to be some rocking. Do you know the song?
Yeah.
There's going to be
that
one. So I took that under my arm on the tube. Off I went. Met them. And the first time I met Dave Hogg, which he still is, Dave Hogg became a very close friend of mine. Just a diamond of a man. And I went there and sang. Anyway, I got another audition with them. They liked what Rob said. They liked what I did. Got another audition, which was up in York Road in London, near Euston Station. Went up there. They liked it. I had some lyrics. I had quite a few lyrics I'd written. So I started in the audition. I started putting some of my lyrics to their songs, their tunes, which they had.
Cool.
And I think about 40 odd singers or 50. I'm not quite sure how many singers went for this job.
Wow.
And honestly, something weird, crazy went for this job. And it came down to me and a guy from Edinburgh or Glasgow. Well, he's Scottish lad. Anyway, it came down to just me and him. It went on for weeks, this. And just me and him. And they auditioned us together in the same room.
Oh, wow.
He was sitting down while I sang. It was weird. Anyway. And then I got the job. Anyway, Rob said to me months later, you know that Scottish guy? I said, yeah. He was a bit better than you, Ty. I said, was he? I said, yeah. But the only reason you got the job is that you live in London and he doesn't. And I said, oh, thank you very much.
Yeah,
yes. But it was all done in jest, but it may have been true, but I was lucky enough to get the job, And yeah, we rehearsed and rehearsed and rehearsed. We went into Bronze Studios and did some demos with Mark Durnley. Do you know Mark Durnley? Have you heard of him? Mark
Yeah,
Durnley.
yeah, yeah. I know the name. Yeah.
Yeah, he engineered the Highway to Hell album, and
Okay. Yeah.
he engineered. If you Google Mark Durnley, he's done. He lives in Los Angeles now. He's done so much with Ozzy. He's got his resume is huge. You know, of all the bands that he's worked with, and solo artists, and Paul McCartney, and
Oh
he's
wow.
just a
Wow.
he's another good guy. Another. We used to go in, but we used to get other people's time. He was very friendly with Dave Hogg, the drummer, and he would phone up Dave. He would say, "Listen," he said, "Def Leppard have been in, and they've got like 8 hours over that they don't haven't used. Do you want it?" And we'd go in the middle of the night, and we'd go in and we'd use their time.
Oh,
We
nice.
used Uriah Heep's time. We used Patty Boulay. I don't know if you heard of her, a
Yeah.
black
Yeah.
soul singer. We stole her. We didn't steal it. We used her time, and we did some demos. And I think that a lot of them are on that Blaque Jaque Shallaque album. Yeah,
Right here. Got a copy
yeah,
of it. This is fantastic. I love it.
yeah. That's the
So
one.
good.
Yeah, but Blood on My Hands, Blood on My Hands is a Bill the Murderer song.
Yeah, yeah. I think there's at least the version I have has bonus material and it has two
Yeah,
Bill the Murderer
yeah, Blood on
tracks
My
on there.
Hands and Spring Rain. Spring
Yeah,
Rain
Spring
was
Rain.
another
Yeah.
Bill the Murderer song.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd Find You is on there. I'm not sure. Yeah, it could be. Pete Downs wrote those two.
Yeah.
Is I'd Find You on there?
I cannot. I am blind. Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Yeah, well, Pete
Yeah.
Downs wrote them and the lyrics to them. But Blood on My Hands, I Blood on My Hands. So yeah, it was a black. I'm trying to think. Am I getting confused now? No, I am getting confused. I'd written the lyrics for Blood on My Hands for Bill the Murderer,
Oh, okay.
and we never got round to doing it. And that's one of the songs that I managed to fit into the Blaque Jaque Shellac stuff.
Yeah. That's a
But
great
but
track. That is a great song.
yeah, yeah. But the blood on my hands. But the Blaque Jaque Shellac thing. We rehearsed and we rehearsed and we rehearsed. And I do these things, Victor. I've done it in a few times. I cannot see the big picture, and I jump ship. And I've
Mm.
done it so many times. If I can't see an end to it all, uh, and I got fed up in the end, and I'm sorry now I did, but and I've admitted it openly. I'm sure we'd have done. I'm sure we could have got a deal or something,
Oh,
with.
yeah.
But
This-
anyway, yeah. But Dave Hogg and I stayed friends. Then we reformed Blaque Jaque Shellac with other members, with a guy called Ian Barber on bass, very good, Andy King on guitar, and we reformed, and I think we went in. I think that the second Blaque Jaque Shellac are the ones that did is the one that did Spring Rain.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, and that folded again. That folded. I didn't leave this time. That just folded, and yeah, and I just bummed around London really, trying to get bands together, and then Angel Witch reformed with Dave. They asked Dave back. So Dave and I were big friends. We were drinking buddies really. We were out all over London drinking and other things. Uh, yeah, and we became yeah, and they were going on tour, or they were starting to gig around London first. And uh, believe it or not, I've always been into the drums. I've never been a drummer, but I've always liked drums. And I he said to me, "Do you want to come and be my drum tech?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "I'm doing nothing." He said, "Come on." He said, "We'll have some fun." I said, "Yeah, okay then." So I ended up touring with them and gigging and touring with them as their drum tech,
That's so
as
cool.
Dave's drum tech. I just had a great time. Oh, I loved it. Loved every minute of it. It was good fun. and Kev's voice started was going. Uh, yeah, I'm trying to. If I'm pausing, I'm just trying to bring it all back. Yeah,
Yeah.
Kev's voice started to go, and they asked me if I would sing at the sound checks, to save his voice a bit. Uh, so I think I did about two or three sound checks with them, and yeah, the next thing I know, I get a phone call from Kev Hayborn, saying, "Hello, Ty." I said, "Hello, mate. Yeah, you're right." He said, "How would you like to join Angel Witch? How would you like to be the singer?" I said,
Mm.
"You're joking." He said, "No, no." He said, "I'm serious. Would you like to be the singer?" I said, "Yeah, of course I would." And that was how I joined, really. No audition, really. Just asked me if I'd
Just
like to join.
jumped right. Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, and it was good. Yeah, and then that's how why I always say. I always say I wish I had more time. I wish I could have gone back in and done the Screaming and Bleeding album again, because I only had a matter of 6 weeks, 8 weeks, and maybe less than 6 weeks before we were in the studio doing it.
Oh, wow. So it already
Yeah,
it had been written already, and
yeah.
pretty
Kevin had written
much.
most of the stuff, and he just had one song, and it was "Who's to Blame," and
Hmm.
he had the music but no lyrics, and I had "Who's to Blame." I had it at
Nice.
home. I had it written down, and I manoeuvred it round a bit and made it fit. And it was the opening song of the album, wasn't it?
It's brilliant. It's one
Yeah,
of my favorite Angel Witch songs, bar none.
yeah.
I think it's
Do you
fantastic.
know
And I
how
think,
that came?
oh,
Oh,
sorry.
sorry, go on. Ed.
Oh, I was just,
How that came about, Victor, was I was living in a flat in Hackney Wick, and it was a tower block. I was on the ninth floor, and you could hear hell and high water going on below you, at night. Once the sun went down, it was cars skidding around, smashing into garages and fighting and screaming. And I just thought, when the night betrays the day, when evil has its way, who can say they've never turned their head away? And it's right. You know, you just put your head under the covers, don't you think?
yeah,
And that's how it came about. And it just flowed. And I thought, yeah, I played it to Kev, sang it to Kev and Pete and Dave, and they liked it. And that was it, really. That's how that came about.
yeah, it's a
But he,
brilliant,
but
brilliant
he,
song.
but he did let me have two songs on the second album, which is
Oh,
yeah, which is good.
yeah.
Yeah,
And another great underrated album. Yeah, and it's really too bad that that album didn't get the promotion I think it deserved, especially in the
yeah,
States. I think especially you look at, Who's to Blame and Evil Games. I think both those had been
mm,
released as singles in the United States. I think
yeah,
you guys would have blown up. Like, I mean, not that
yeah.
Angel Witch, I mean, it had a following, but in the States at that time in the early 80s, they didn't get any air, there was no airplay here really. But
No, no,
I think, Who's to Blame is a hit. That's a hit.
yeah,
That's a hit
yeah.
record right there. It should have been anyway. Yeah, I mean, I
But it wasn't
love this album. It's
yeah, yeah,
one of my
yeah,
favorites. It's so good.
yeah. But it wasn't produced very well either. The production
Yeah,
was poor, on both the albums, the production was poor, and I don't think the management promoted it in the States or whatever. It wasn't promoted.
yeah.
Uh, yeah, which is an absolute shame. There we go. You can't turn the clock back, can you? You know.
Yeah, I just remember, as a young, as a teenager, when I
Mm,
really started getting into metal, and I would read in magazines about all these British bands, and it was during the new wave of British heavy metal and era. And I remember, reading about Angel Witch, and you couldn't find anything here in the
no,
States. It
no,
was, and so it was later when I was able to find stuff, and I just remember, obviously the first album is genius, but when I
oh
heard
yeah,
Screaming
yeah,
and Bleeding, I was like, man,
yeah,
I love this album. And even with the
yeah,
lower production quality, I think it's
yeah.
phenomenally written album. I don't know, does he play any songs from that era live ever
No,
anymore?
I
No.
think he may play Evil Games.
Mm,
He he's totally disregarded them both, hasn't he? He's tried to bury them really,
Yeah.
because I think after those two albums, he's always tried to reproduce the first album they did. You
Yeah.
know, he's tried to reproduce the Angel Witch album, the very first one before me. Uh, but we were told we were told in. I remember being talking to Les Hunt, the engineer at the time, and he said, "What you're doing is the way to go." You know, but what was going on in Kev's mind, only he knows.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, sad, really. It could have been good. Could have
Yeah.
been good.
Well, and it's
You
too
know,
bad that
could have
those
been good.
those two albums haven't been like remastered, and I mean they sort of
Yeah,
have, but not really. I mean,
I don't think he'd allow it. You see, I don't think he wants it to happen. Some people have mentioned, oh, wouldn't it be great for you to get back together and go on the road doing those two albums? But that won't happen.
yeah.
That'll never happen.
Yeah,
You know,
it's
that would
it's
be great.
oh, that'd be amazing. I mean, and
I think I
nothing.
may have one. I think I've got one tour left in me. You know,
Yeah.
I think I have. Yeah, yeah,
Well, if Kev ever sees
yeah.
this, he should jump on it. And
Uh,
as much as I love his vocals and the original work, I think you're a better singer. No offense to Kev
no,
at
very
all, but
kind of you, Victor. Thank you.
I love what you did. I mean, and I don't necessarily like to do the comparison thing, but it's something about there's kind of a cadence with the way you sing that reminds me of Rod Evans a little bit of the
Oh yeah, yeah,
yeah, just a little
yeah.
bit. Like every once in a while, like I'll hear something and it like kind of triggers this like, oh, that kind of sound that's kind of the phrasing, I guess maybe. There's something about your voice that kind of and I love Rod Evans, the very elusive, who knows where that guy is now. Um,
Yeah,
yeah, there's
it
something,
could be
and
a
I think
wet.
that was you brought something a little more interesting to the band,
Yeah,
to Angel Witch with your vocals
yeah.
because of that.
It
Um,
could be a Welsh thing, you see, couldn't
oh,
it?
maybe,
Because we
yeah,
are the land of song. You know that, don't you?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, maybe,
Could
yeah,
be the Tom. It could be the Tom Jones in me,
yeah,
perhaps.
yeah, maybe,
I
yeah,
wish.
maybe it is the Tom Jones. Yeah, kind of you
Well, I'll
could
tell you a quick story
swing a
now. I'll
bit.
tell you a quick story. Going back to Blaque Jaque Shallaque.
Yes.
When I first got the job with Blaque Jaque Shallaque, we rehearsed. The first rehearsal, proper serious rehearsal I had with them, was in the studio in the Elephant near the Elephant and Castle in South London. And I turn up there now. Anyway, walk into the rehearsal room, and there's like four or five, six people sitting there. I thought, what's going on here? So I thought, nothing of it. So I thought, this must be how they work, you know. So I was looking strangely at them. I thought, I didn't know any of them. So anyway, we start rehearsing and start writing and start doing stuff and start trying to make my lyrics fit their stuff. So uh, we used to go out for a band night. We used to go out on a Thursday night for a drink, the band, you know. So I think I rehearsed with them on the Sunday. So the following Thursday, I think I went to South London, met Dave. We went off to the pub, met Rob. So I said, what's all this like? I said, people sitting in on the rehearsals. Oh, right, he said. He said, we told them we got a new singer. Yeah. And they all wanted to come to see the Welshman sing. So they must have thought they were having Tom Jones or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. They'd come to see the Welshman sing. It was
The
brilliant.
Welshmans.
Oh, it was hilarious. Yeah, great, isn't it?
I think that should be the title of your next album. They came to see the Welshman sing.
the, the Welshman sings.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, brilliant. Yeah.
I think that's amazing. That's so cool.
Yeah. Yeah. It was good. It was good.
Do you?
Yeah.
I have as an American that's a massive fan of that era of music. Um,
Whereabouts in the States are you,
I'm in
Victor?
Utah. I'm in Utah.
Oh, right. Yeah. Okay.
So
I don't know why I asked because I don't know it. I'm just
so in the
interested.
West,
That's
I'm in
all.
the West, and
Ah, yeah.
it's
Okay.
hot here. It's
Yeah.
pretty hot right now.
Yeah.
Dry
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
hot. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, I love I love that era of music that came out of England, in the late 70s, early
Mm,
80s. I mean, that's just like
yeah.
for me, that's heaven. And I tend to romanticize about it a bit, of course. I'm always curious to talk to people that were actually living it and part of it. Did you realize at the time when you were part of that movement, did you realize how big it was, or was it just
Oh
you?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Because I mean, I auditioned for Praying Mantis,
Oh, cool.
didn't get the job, of course. Uh, Auditioned for Samson when
Oh,
Bruce Dickinson left,
oh,
didn't
wow.
get that either. Gosh, I can't remember. I even auditioned for a punk band called Dead Fingers Talk. They were called.
Huh.
Never got that either. But that's what I used to. Yeah, I did realize how big it was, and I wanted to be part of it.
Mm,
That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm so grateful to Kevin. Really, I mean, I know things happen, but I'm so grateful to Kevin for giving me the opportunity
yeah.
to show what I could do. And I've always said this. I know Kevin and I had our differences at the very end. Well, not really differences. Just the sacking was anyway. Uh, I've always said he's a brilliant musician,
Yeah.
brilliant guitar player, brilliant lyricist.
Yeah.
Some of his lyrics are just great. Where they come from, I don't. I know he used to read a lot, and he was always into like history and different things. Uh, the black arts and all that kind of thing. And because we were big mates, we used to go out drinking together and chatting and about history and stuff. And but I've always said, even though we had our differences, I will never knock him for his musicianship and his
Oh, yeah. He's brilliant. Yeah. Angel Witch is one of my favorite bands
oh,
ever. I mean, just
his solo.
brilliant.
Some of his solos. There was one I think on Rendezvous with the Blade where I'm not sure if we'd had the heavy night in. Really, when you record them, we'd had a heavy night drinking the night before, and Kev hadn't eaten, and he had to go in to do the solo for. And I've talked to Pico Delia about it. He had to go in and do the solo for Rendezvous with the Blade,
Hmm.
and he was shaking. He hadn't eaten, and he was sitting in the studio, and he was like this. He was shaking, and they said, "Kev, you're in," and you listen to that solo. It's just tremendous,
Yeah.
tremendous. The man should be huge.
Yeah. Yeah. I always thought
He should
Angel
be
Witch should have been
massive.
gigantic. Yeah.
Oh God, he should have been up there with the best. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah. I
instead
always,
of just
yeah.
instead of just schlepping around with Angel, which now, just doing gigs here and there. The man should have been in a huge band.
Yeah. They
But
should
he
have
was
been
on
like
this.
Iron Maiden. Yeah.
There's a story about that. There's a story to where I'm not sure whether Kev was offered the job at one time.
Oh, really?
Uh, Yeah, I won't go into that. That's quite personal. Me and him had a chat about things in his house. It's a bit. I won't go into that bit now. Uh, yeah, and he said, "What would you have done?" I said, "I wouldn't be sitting here now, mate. That's for sure." But there,
Yeah.
yeah. So you can imagine what would happen. Uh, but he should. The man was wasted in Angel Witch. Really, now just it's a shame. It's a shame.
Yeah.
He's
Massive
he's
talent.
He's oh, massive talent, massive, massive talent. Yeah, it's a shame.
Yeah. Yeah. That's, yeah.
Yeah, so
Very
I had a
terrible.
I had a couple of 2, 3 good years, 3 good years with them. Really enjoyed it, really enjoyed. Uh, and I gave them everything I had. I had nothing. I hadn't got an ounce of anything else to give them. I lived and breathed Angel Witch.
Yeah.
Just loved them, loved the band, loved the lads.
Was
You
there
know,
ever anything recorded live with you singing with them? That I mean,
there's a bootleg out.
oh, okay.
There's a bootleg out. Of us of us at the Marquee.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and Andy Edwards has got that.
Really?
Do you know Andy?
Yeah, I know. I don't know him personally, but I know who he is.
No,
Yeah, great drummer.
no, no, no.
Oh, not that Andy
Different
Edwards.
Andy.
Okay, sorry.
Andy Edwards. Andy Edwards does the same as what you're doing now. I did an interview with him. Oh
Oh,
gosh,
okay.
a while ago. I'll get in touch with him for you. I'll
Okay.
get in touch with Andy and ask him if he could maybe get in touch with you on Facebook or something, and maybe send you the bootleg.
Oh, I would love to hear that.
But it's right through. It's fully live. It it was taken right at the back of the marquee
Wow.
because you. I don't even know why they turn up. I don't know why people turn up to shout "f off" to you. I think it could have been me because I used to get quite a bit of abuse. When I first joined them.
Really?
Oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah, yeah. I had guys turning their back on me.
That's
I'd be singing in
crazy.
a club, and they turn their back on me. Stand with their back to me all night because I
Wow.
was, and they were because they wanted Kev. You see, they wanted that three piece. They
Oh,
didn't want me. But I won them over. I used to get. I've had some terrible reviews from people on uh, YouTube. You know,
really?
but eventually, yeah, yeah. Dave Tattum isn't as good as Kev, and he shouldn't be singing. He hasn't got the voice for Angel Witch, and etc. 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 It's and somebody did somebody me talking about it. Somebody said it sounds like Tom Jones, yeah, which I thought wasn't a bad thing. I wouldn't mind a voice like Tom Jones, tell the truth.
Yeah,
But
that's
yeah, but
mind
it
blowing.
started to get a lot nicer as I look at the. I shouldn't look at the reviews, but as I look at the reviews, as people have maybe mellowed and listened to them properly, the reviews have got a lot better for me. Personal ones,
Hmm.
which is nice. Which is nice.
Yeah.
You shouldn't read. I shouldn't read the reviews really, but I do
Yeah.
like to
Never
now and
read the
again.
reviews. It's
No,
it's a life
no,
lesson. Don't read the reviews. Don't read the comment.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's
But
too many
I'll
trolls.
have a word. I'll have a word with Andy and see what he can do.
Oh,
I've
thank you.
got it here somewhere on CD, but I can't remember. I put it somewhere. It might be in my car,
Yeah, I'd love to hear
in my
that.
van.
That'd be brilliant.
It may be, but I'll have a word with him, see what we can do. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Oh, that'd be great.
Okay.
Yeah.
No problem. No
Yeah,
problem.
I always
And it's
wondered.
and it's quite good.
Oh, nice.
Seriously, the sound isn't too bad.
Nice.
It's with Spencer Holman on drums.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah, yeah, and it's and Kev sings on it because yeah, Kev does a few songs on it as well as I do. Because we used to do. Oh, well, it's just you've heard on the albums. We used to do like a verse. He'd do a verse, I do a verse, and then we
Yeah.
join in on the chorus. But he sings. Uh, God, I can't remember the songs he sang now. Not sure if he sang Angel of Death. Oh, I
Hmm.
can't think. I can't think. But he let me sing Freeman, which was good because I liked Freeman. I thought it was a bit bluesy.
Yeah.
So he let me sing that one, which is very kind of him. I like that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'll do my best for you. Leave it with me, as they
Nice.
say.
Very cool. Well,
Yeah,
thank
but
you. Thank you. That'd be great. Yeah, I'd love to
you're
hear that.
welcome. You're welcome.
Yeah, I've always wondered if there was a recording out there of you singing.
Yeah,
Yeah, because I
yeah. I
know
think that's the
the
only one.
okay, yeah, because I know Frontal Assault came out in what 86, and you were in the
Mm,
band until 89. So it's like, okay,
yeah,
there's got to be live material out there somewhere.
yeah,
So yeah,
yeah.
that'd be brilliant. Yeah, I'd love to hear that. That'd be great. Um, well, Dave, this has been an absolute pleasure chatting with you today. Thank you so very
You
much.
haven't mentioned the sacking.
Oh, well, I didn't want to. Well,
Oh,
okay,
hey, I've
let's
told you, my
all right.
life is an open book,
All
Victor.
right, let's go. Yeah, all right, let's do it. Why and how did you get sacked
Well, we've
from
done the
Angel
frontal
Witch?
assault thing. We've done the frontal assault thing, and we were gigging and stuff. And then when it started going into the rehearsal studio, and we started doing some new stuff. Well, Kev had started putting raising the keys on the songs to
Hmm.
try and. I think he was trying to get me think, oh, Tatty can't sing this. We'll have him out. But I was hitting the notes because I remembered him saying one day, bloody hell, he can sing that, he can do this, he can do that. Anyway, I had no idea whatsoever. And I get a phone call from Kev. He said, "All right, Tatty, all right, Kev, yeah, yeah, you're right, mate, yeah, yeah, yeah. We've been having a little chat, and we don't think you fit Angel Witch." I said, "For God's sake, man!" I said, "I've been with you 4 years or whatever it was. Can't remember
Yeah.
what I said now." he said, well, we want to go in a different direction and this, that, and the other. So I took it on the chin, really. I said, okay, okay. But I didn't let him know, but it knocked the stuffing out of me, really. It finished me off for a while. I'd had enough. I didn't want to do no more. As I said to you before, I'd give them every ounce of sweat I had, and I couldn't do no more for them. Couldn't do. So, yeah, but the last time I sang with them was in Eindhoven, in the Dynamo Festival.
Mm.
I did a guest spot with them there, and that was it. And I can remember, maybe months later, Spencer Holman got married. Phoned me up. Would you like to come to the wedding? I said, oh, yeah, I would. So me and my girlfriend then, I'd moved back to North Wales then because I'd met my wife. I used to come up at weekends and now and again. And I'd met my wife up here. And we'd been going out with each other and seen each other for a year. She was coming to London. I was coming up here. Anyway, me and her went down to the wedding, and Kev came up to me quite sheepish by the bar. I was okay. And he said, you all right, Tatty? I said, yeah, you're right, Kev. You keeping okay? Yeah, yeah. Oh, man, he said, I'm so sorry. He said, I made a terrible mistake.
Wow.
I said, what? He said, I made a terrible mistake sacking you. Whether he said it to save it kicking off and, to save any bad feeling. But I said, it's a bit late now, Kevin. And that was it, really. Because once they'd sacked me, they went off and did a tour of the West Coast, didn't they? They Los Angeles to San Francisco, played the Troubadour, which I always wanted to play.
Oh, yeah.
Met up with Metallica and all that kind of stuff. And that was the end of my my stint with Angel Witch, really. But I've stayed friends with Pete Cordelia, Dave Hogg, still big friends with them. And that was the end of my era with Angel Witch.
Wow.
Yeah. But I don't hold any bad feelings because I've got no bad feelings towards him because he gave me a chance.
Yeah.
And he gave me a chance to do what I do on a big stage so that people could hear me. I knew I was half decent. I knew I wasn't. I was no Ronnie James Dio. I know that, but I knew I knew there was a voice in there, and and really, I was telling my son today, and he was saying, I said, I'm doing an interview with a guy, from the States, and this and that. Oh, Dad, he said, you're known worldwide. I said, I suppose I am, really. I said, but only but like that. But I said, I've got pen friends. I said, I've got Facebook friends in Australia. I said, Japan, and it's all through Angel Witch.
Wow.
Not because of me. It's through Angel Witch. I've got friends in the States, South America, Canada, you name it. And it's all through the Angel Witch thing, which I'm very, very, very grateful for.
Very cool.
So if there's any bands out there want an aging rocker who maybe have one more album and one more tour, put the name out for us, Victor, please.
Yeah, will do. Yeah. I would love to see you sing live. That would be great.
Yeah.
That would be fantastic.
I'm sorry I do talk a lot, Victor, don't I?
No, this is perfect. I love it. Nobody wants to listen to me. So this is great. This is awesome. Thank you so much.
No, thank you. It's been a pleasure.
It's been an absolute pleasure chatting with you.
It's nice to relive and go back and talk about it, really.
And if it's for those watching, if you can find a copy of both albums that you're on, but Bleeding and Screaming is just phenomenal, as is through High Roller Records. You can find Blaque Jaque Shallaque, which is just brilliant music. And then of course your solo work. I don't have a physical copy, but I love the album. And folks that are watching, if you go to I've got a link in the description below. You can check out Fandango Records and check out Dave's solo work. Which you can Sorry, go ahead.
Would you like a physical copy?
I would love a physical copy. Yeah, I can't find one.
Send me your address, and I'll send you one.
Oh, thank you so much. That's so nice.
No problem. No problem.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
I've got a box full of
Oh,
unsold ones in my studio. So I'm
oh,
just,
okay.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Nice,
I'll
nice.
send you
Yeah.
one. Send me your address. I'll send you one.
Oh, thank you so much. That's so nice of
No
you.
problem. No
Yeah,
problem.
thank you. Well, Dave, this was brilliant. Thank you so much for your
Yeah,
time. I really enjoyed chatting with you.
that's
Yeah,
good.
thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.